Broadcasting live from the Vegas Video Network studios, just steps from the Las Vegas Strip, it's Talktails with Chris Phillips. Coming up on today's program, you, the viewer, as we answer a ton of viewer emails. And now our host, I can name that host, by the way, in 5 syllables, Mr. Chris Phillips.
Oh, yes. Well, once again, good afternoon, my friends, and welcome to the Vegas Video Network, where we are coming to you live from the most exciting city in the world. Of course, I'm talking about Las Vegas, and you were, oh, yes. Where else are you going to find a middle-aged guy with a fake tan, fake teeth, and fake hair trying to do his own little talk show called Talktails, where he gets to drink too much and talk to his fans, his friends, his co-workers, and even more importantly, the people who make this city tick. And I'm talking about the entertainers that grace the billboards up and down Las Vegas Boulevard. Oh, my goodness. Well, what a weekend it was. Scott, as usual, another weekend of partying. But before we get to that, we've got plenty of stories today. I'd like to let you know that at any time through the week, we would encourage you and hope that you're going to email us with any kind of questions or comments by simply going to talktails@vegasvideonetwork.com. And we also have ourselves, incidentally, a toll-free number for those of you who do not own computers like I don't. And that is 866-966-4599. And I'm so excited about today's program because what we're going to be doing is something that we don't get to do very often. But every couple weeks, we seem to collect up a ton of emails, phone calls, and whatnot that have all these questions about certainly what we're doing here at the network, myself, and even more importantly, again, the guests that we have on our show. And so today's guest is actually going to be you and your questions. We'd like to, like I said, do some kind of tidying up once in a while by kind of getting back to you as to your myriad of interesting comments and questions that you have for us. And so many of the questions seem to pertain to my personal life and the partying and whatnot that goes on here in Las Vegas with some of my friends and the entertainers and whatnot. But Scott, this weekend was no exception. We had an extra reason to celebrate because, of course, not only was it on Friday night when we did our show out at Red Rock, was it the Mexican Independence Day, it was also Gay Pride.
Right.
So you put those things together.
And you've got a spicy meatball.
Oh, yes. We had Hector and Ignacio discovering a whole new kind of independence. Oh, what am I doing? This is my last show. What the hell? No, so we're going to be able to get to your questions, I hope. Some of them pertain to what we do out on Saturday nights, which is the M Resort, which we are performing at every Saturday. Last night, I got to do something kind of fun. Every 6 months here in Las Vegas, we have our own version of the San Gennaro Festival, which is an amazing event that brings all the community together. And like they have in New York and other cities, it's a festival where you get to eat some great Italian food, get to hear some great entertainment. It's fun for the family of rides, and it's a carnival atmosphere. This year it was in the parking lot of the Rio Hotel, Scott. I don't know if you got out to it this year or not.
That's what that was. We drove by it. We didn't know
Thousands and thousands of people converge on these things. And what's so cool is here in Las Vegas, there's not a lot that is offered for the families to come together and bring their kids to and such. And so I got to sing out there last night along with my friends in the Rat Pack. And there's a guy named Tony Saka, who's kind of notorious around here for being kind of a Las Vegas legend in his own right. He brings all the entertainers together, and it's always a fun time. So I appreciate my friends, the Polisamos, and everybody at the San Gennaro Festival for having another successful year and letting me come out there.
Cool.
But it was a wild weekend, of course, and as you may know, Scott, I am now working every day.
Yeah, and by the way, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy from me, just so you know. I work every day too.
Well, it's not the working. See, I can handle the working, which is something I have not done in 27 years. But, you know, I would think at some point in my life I would figure out not to stay out till 4 in the morning just drinking like a complete idiot. And today is no exception that I am trying to nurse a hangover with my friends from Crown Royal Black, which I would like to thank once again for my friend Mr. Sabrino from Southern Wine and Spirits for delivering that to us. And
Right.
so nonetheless, I thought we would get right to it. Like I said, folks, we apologize that we haven't been able to get back to you via email, and so we're going to do it live on the air, if that's okay. And I know that we have some people also in our live chat room. And to help us out today with that is my friend, my boss, and the most handsome man in Clark County. It's our producer, Mr. Scott Whitney, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for him. What a guest.
Yes, yes. You lie like a sieve, my friend. Like a sieve. I'm not the most handsome man. Ira is the most handsome man in the room. See? Wife loves it. Actually, again, I'm glad I dressed for the occasion. We're like, hey, I've got a bunch of emails. Do you wanna take them? Okay. Oh shit, he wants to take the emails? What am I gonna do? Well, we're taking them. We're going. So let's go.
This works for me. No, this is actually my favorite show we do, because if anybody's ever seen my show before, they know it's about the people who come to see us, not about who we are on stage. And that's kind of our concept today. And so, like I said, especially if you're watching us live, if you're in the live chat rooms, we'd love to get to your questions too. But this is really about the emails that have been collecting up for the last several weeks that we haven't had a chance to kind of respond to. And it's my fault. You know,
well, you're busy.
Most of them are from my mother. And so I guess it's...
Who, by the way, who is a lovely woman. A lovely woman. And she's a chatty Cathy. She's always on the chat saying, tell Chris to sit up. Which, I don't know if I don't
get
tell you
some
that.
sleep and take a shower.
I'm afraid to tell you that because I'm afraid it's going to upset you. But tell Chris to sit up. Tell Chris to sit up. He's sitting up. He's sitting up.
I think she has a crush on you, to be honest. I've seen some of her comments.
Well, she's a sweet woman.
And she's all hands. So.
Well, I didn't want to say that, but let me just. Never mind. How far do I want to go with this? No farther. I think we're done. Are you ready for some questions, Chris?
Well, I hope I have some answers.
Well, first of all, your mom wants to know, am I single? Awesome. No, I'm not. I am not single. But for Chris's mom. First question is from Julie. Surprisingly enough, many of these questions are from women. I wonder how that works.
I have no problem with that.
What's that like? Never mind.
Well, I'll be honest.
It just makes me cry a little bit every time I think about it.
They have time on their hands by the time they get out of high school and before they go to cheerleading practice. So.
Okay, Julie wants to know, of your previous guests, how many are actual drinking buddies? You say that about everybody. Oh, and Anthony's a drinking buddy, and Nathan's a drinking buddy, and Fred and Bob and Mary Ellen and John Buddy, they're all drinking buddies. Now, the question is, is that somebody's phone? Oh, Chris, thanks for getting that ready. Is that your mom?
Hi, Mom? Is this Anthony? Yes, we are going out drinking tonight. Oh, okay. Scott was wondering. No problem, I'll see you about midnight. Thanks.
I thought that was your mom for me. So, of your previous guests, how many are actual drinking buddies, and do you have any stories that you can share?
That I can share?
Yes.
That's the key question there.
I think you should share them anyways.
Well, I'll be honest. Yes, of course. We here in Las Vegas, especially after moving here, discover something called alcohol. And it's funny how in the entertainment world you tend to drink more than you typically would if you were not in the entertainment world. It somehow gets you through. And my friends are no exception to the rule. Out of the guests that I've had here, though, I guess for sure a fellow by the name of Frankie Shinta comes to mind. He was somebody that I really looked up to when I first moved here. He was really one of the first shows I ever saw.
Right.
And I thought, my God, you know, if I can do that for a living, who needs college and have to work for a living? If I could somehow make a living, be completely intoxicated through my shift, you know, that would be just perfect. And so him and I are very good friends. We go out a lot, and he's a big fan of vodka. But to be honest, the guy I hang out with most in town just lately was actually supposed to be a guest last week, and unfortunately had some issues, and he's going to be put off for a week or two. But it's one of the most talented guys I've ever seen in my life. His name is Gordy Brown.
Oh, Gordy Brown. Want him here.
Yeah,
I think
Gordy
he'll be a
Brown
kick.
is an exceptionally talented guy who, incidentally, knows how to drink me under the table.
Really?
And
Now
that's hard to do.
His is going to be a good story because he was, when I moved here, he was at Golden Nugget.
Yes.
And then he got a gig. I mean, his manager is the same guy as Roy and
Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried and Roy.
Yes.
And he got a gig at Venetian,
Very good gig.
which is
Headliner.
a hell of a gig.
Yes.
And now he's back at Golden Nugget again, and he's packing rooms, is what I heard.
He's doing awesome. And the thing that's cool about Gordy is not only is he talented, he also, incidentally, has been the main opening act with Celine Dion.
Oh, when she's
When
touring?
she tours around.
Oh, no kidding.
He plays to thousands and thousands of people a night getting to open for her, and he
Is
just
that right?
kills them. If you've never seen Gordy Brown, I would highly suggest going to see him. He's terribly talented. But
Does he still have the multi-piece band?
yeah, he has a band behind him, and he sings, he does impressions. But the thing that I find most interesting about Gordy is that he has that innate ability to just go off into tangents, and nothing is scripted. It's kind of like a Robin Williams or some of these guys that I used to idolize that didn't, they had kind of a structure to their show, but were able to just take whatever was flying at them at the time and just go with it.
Yeah.
And I find that terribly interesting. I think that's takes a tremendous amount of talent.
Is he the kind of guy where if you're out with him and somebody comes up to him and says, hey, would you do Jack Nicholson? Would he do it?
No, he's the kind of guy that will go up to somebody even if they don't want him to, and will say, hey, you want to see my Jack Nicholson?
Really?
Yeah. The show never stops with
Hey,
Gordy.
man, here's some Jack. That's awesome. Now, okay, so you're...
So Gordy and I go out often,
Yeah.
and with our assistants.
So exactly who are your assistants? Foolish thing to say in front of me.
I can't say this.
How could I not ask that question? You can't say with my assistants drinking into your drink.
No, but I have a girlfriend that I'm very proud of, and I
So you don't have an
and I love her to. He has an assistant.
Like on-stage assistant? I mean, I've seen his show. I don't
No.
remember seeing an assistant.
No,
Personal assistant.
personal assistant.
Somebody who helps manage his schedule. Or something.
That's
like
correct.
that.
But yes, and she's lovely, and I love her to death. And I don't know how in the world he has been lucky enough to inquire with her services as an assistant. But she's lovely, and I love her to death. And
Right.
nonetheless, we go out and we have a blast. But boy, can he see the thing with Gordy? He's such a generous, lovely man.
Yeah.
He makes sure that anyone around him is as intoxicated as he is.
So how do I get an
So,
invite to
if it's-
hang out with you guys?
He buys rounds for the room, for the band. I mean, this is a very generous man. But he's making the big bucks. He's a big star here in town, you see. And what I love about Gordy Brown is he is one of the few entertainers that doesn't four-wall his room.
He doesn't.
No.
Really?
In what that means simply is he's not renting the room and buying his own publicity. He still comes from the old school where the hotel finds enough value in
No
him
kidding.
that they pay him a salary. They pay for his marketing. And to me, that's incredible.
Do you think that's partly because of who his management is?
Yes, I'm
'Cause
sure
he's
it
got-
does. 'Cause
he's
he's got
got-
big-time
he's got
management.
the
But it
best
also
man.
comes from his talent and his reputation that precedes him.
Right.
And he brings in a great following. He's such a great guy. I
big
love
is-
him to death. He's
How big
one
is
of my
that
best
room
friends.
he's in? How big?
Pardon me?
How big is his room?
He seats about 17 or 18 people.
Sells out every
packed.
night. Sells
Can't
out
get
every
a
night.
seat. No, I'd say 400 people maybe.
Oh, that's a good-sized
I'm
room.
guessing 500.
That's good.
I don't know. Give or take.
I didn't know he was in Fort Wallen.
No, I didn't either. I just learned that about him. That's why I was
Really?
found that
That's
very-
why he's buying rounds.
He's doing all right.
Hey, when you guys go out next time, could you text me what room he's in? Because I like to be in a room once when somebody buys
You know what
rounds
we do?
and I'm
We
in.
always go. I'll tell you what we do. You can find Gordy and I drinking every Tuesday at the Palms Lounge, watching our good friend Frankie Moreno,
I do a show.
who is
The Wednesday.
without question one of the most talented dudes in town,
we have.
songwriters. So you can find us in there.
Okay. What time do you guys get started?
Uh,
You see this big crowd of people going, I'm looking for a free round from Gordy.
I think Frankie goes on around 10, but we usually get there around midnight.
Oh, you are living the good life, brother. All right.
We catch a few songs.
You go upstage?
But
you,
then,
you go on
yeah,
stage sometimes.
I think I'm going to go up with him Tuesday. Gordy always gets up there, and like I said with Gordy, the show never stops.
Okay.
But he's so awesome. He's so funny, and he's so talented what he does. But yeah, we have a great time. But it's certainly Frankie Shinta, any guy I've had on here, you know, this is a town where you drink and you party and you stay out all night and you have fun, and you get in trouble, and then you get up and you do it again.
Are there
and you get paid to do it.
You know how Dean Martin used to pretend to drink, but he didn't drink. Now, I can say, for example, you don't pretend to drink. You really drink. Is there somebody, don't give any names, but there's anybody out there who pretends to drink but actually doesn't drink?
Yes.
Okay. I just realized that was a crap question. Because now you want to know who, right?
Well, I'll put it this way. It's because it's part of the gimmick of their show.
Right.
And they're on stage every night. And some of us have hardened livers and some of us don't, I guess. I don't know. But
All right.
I don't think they're allowed to in their particular show. But yes.
Okay. Debbie wants to know. Is that your mom, Debbie? Hip-hop party show.
Yeah.
Vintage Vegas show. Name that tune. Vegas Video Network as a talk show host. What's next on your list?
Yeah, there's a nice combination of things. I want to be Frank Sinatra. I want to be Lil Wayne. I want to be Gene Rayburn.
You really want to be Little
And I
Ray?
want to be Mike Douglas.
Yeah.
Or Merv Griffin.
Nice.
I was thinking of being a milkman.
Is that so you can stop by your assistant's house and...
You got to get that vitamin D.
Hey, hello, Chris the Milkman's here. Open up.
You know what I really would like to do?
Porn, it sounds like.
Just hook me up to a couple of udders and
Oh, great. That's great.
USDA has nothing on me.
Here we are. That's utterly ridiculous. No, what would you like to do besides get this complete show thrown off the air?
You know what I want to do? And I'll be honest. There's only one person who really knows that. That's my girlfriend. I would trade everything I do
Easy.
to be a professional quarterback.
Really?
On a professional.
Really?
Yep.
I never would have guessed that.
Being 5'10" and about $105, that ain't happening. But
Who's your team?
well, you know, I was born in Arizona. I love the Cardinals.
Right.
But, you know, my gosh, I think that would be a dream. I just would love to be out there as the field general,
Right.
you know, taking your team in the last quarter down the field like Joe Montana used to do, and these guys, and, you know, the clinching throw to your receiver deep in the end zone. Oh, man, that would be so exciting.
No kidding.
Yep.
Okay.
That ain't happening, though, apparently.
So,
but, however, I
you
did
know what you could be in?
the lingerie bowl.
That's exactly right. You got pretty blonde hair, right? You just come in there and go, I'm just kind of a manly chick. Hike, hike, hike.
A manly chick.
Come on. Well, I think that would be good. Stay tuned
They'd
for
clobber me.
more about, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about his newest thing.
Oh, yeah,
Name That
okay.
tune, which I got to see last Saturday and was really kind of fun. Take a break. We hope. We're not really sure yet. We're doing it with the Wainster, and I think he's going to do it. We'll be back in 15 seconds.
Hey, I'm Al Man. Is that how you get them to do that all the time? Just sit there and be an ass. Is that it? Hey, I'm Al. Hey, I'm Al Mancini at Top of the Food Chain. You are watching the Vegas Video Network. We got big forks, big spoons. I got a big mouth. I got no guests.
Caught in the act. Your mom would be so proud.
Excuse me.
Well, I'll tell you something. Folks, welcome back. You are watching Talktails. My name is Chris Phillips, and we, in lieu of a real guest, have our producer, Scott Whitney. And he, tonight, is drinking, if I'm not mistaken, Sailor Jerry, in honor of the fact that, if you did not know this should be on every calendar, it's National Speak Like a Pirate Day.
Arr.
Bring the winds back.
Arr, Chris. Shiver me timbers, baby.
100 proof.
Oh, God. I have got to stop. Do we have any more Coke? No?
No, we don't
Okay.
need that around. That just ruins the
No,
taste.
I really do. Because I had a fight with Sarah Jerry about 2 weeks ago, and he beat my ass.
I heard you had to get a ride home.
I came in with my wife, so Melissa gave me a ride home. Thank you, brother. And so that was good. But on the ride home, I literally did not know how I got home. Apparently, we stopped at McDonald's, which, by the way, is the hangover cure. Do you know this?
What?
McDonald's, the Happy Meal, is the greatest hangover cure. No BS. Happy Meal. Cheeseburger, fries, and a regular Coke. You drink that or eat that before you go to bed, or if you forget it, on the morning after, hangover cure.
Well, I'll tell you, that's funny that they both use the same word, because the cure for frustration is to go to Spring Mountain down in the what do you call it, the Oriental Village or whatever, and get the happy something else. Well, that's the ending.
Happy
that's
ending.
The ending.
Yep. Okay.
Incidentally, I don't think it's called the Oriental Village.
Sammy, no, what did I say? Oh no, you mean Chinatown?
Chinatown.
Or the Oriental Village. Very good. Look at that. Half of our viewers have just left.
I'm not trying to be. I
can't imagine why.
Speaking of which, we're doing Zoe Bowie. We're playing the Asian Festival.
Are you?
In a couple weeks at the New Orleans parking lot. Because apparently we were told we are big with the Asians.
Because you're taller.
And I'll tell you what.
Come on, that's
I've told you this before. Every show we do, there is this little delegation of Filipino girls that hovers next. Oh my God, they're so hot.
Okay.
I thank God for fake IDs, but.
Oh look, our viewership just went up again. Let me just see if I can check the geographic. My God, it's Chinatown. How nice for that. Okay. I have a question, actually. So I went and saw Name That Tune. What? Did you want to continue to bury us before we go to the next show?
We've done 18th episodes, and I'm glad this is the last. I thought I'd go out with a bang bang.
I've done one spit take on this network. I will not do two. I will not let it happen. All right. Okay, so here we go. Went and saw Name That Tune.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the perfect show for you.
Yes,
it really is. So let's do a little bit of behind the curtain, behind the scenes here. Tell us how it all got started. I want to get some technical stuff too. But so, are they called SPY? The production?
SPY Entertainment, yes.
Okay, SPI.
Long story short, the people out of L.A. that own the brand, the old brand from you remember the television show, of course, ran from the 50s through like the early 80s, called Name That Tune.
Right.
Very successful.
Sure.
There's some folks out in L.A. that bought the brand. They brought it and they thought, hey, Las Vegas is the perfect place to start doing the show again.
Right.
And so they went to some friends of mine who own this SPY Entertainment, and they're the producers who do Human Nature, Divas Las Vegas, Australian Bee Gees show, Thunder Down Under, which you were incidentally used to be in, did you not?
Well, I did, but I started developing man breasts, and they didn't allow it.
So they took it to the Imperial Palace, and they thought that was the perfect showroom for it. And they put a lot of time, energy, and money into designing this gorgeous set that's very TV savvy. And,
very beautiful.
And so they brought in our friend Andy Walmsley, who does the set design for American Idol. America's Got Talent, all these big, huge shows.
No kidding.
And so it's a very slick set. Very nice. So what they wanted to do is take the classic brand in the game show and marry it with kind of a hip, modern edge of today's music. And kind of. So when it boiled down to it, they needed a host.
Right.
And so they, for whatever reason, were scraping the barrel. And they went with Zoe Bowie as the host of the show. And we brought in my...
What made them think that you could be a host?
Honestly?
Yes.
This show.
Oh, no kidding.
They saw me on this show.
Kingmaker. Really?
That's the true story.
That's pretty nice.
That, and of course, they've known me around town, and they wanted to bring somebody in that they thought might be able to lure in locals, as well as tourists.
We had a lot of locals in that. The audience that I was in, there was quite a few.
And so, it's a combination. It's half and half, tourists and locals that come in to see the show. And, they knew that Marley, who is my singing partner, and I would kind of come as a package deal. And so we come out and kind of like a little modern-day Steve and Edie, sing a couple songs, we perform, we host the show, and we have a blast.
Is that the deal, though? I mean, do you have to be a package with Marley?
No. No.
But you are together, and I see that, and I was wondering, did they approach you alone?
First, yes.
And then you said, would it be better if I had Marley with me?
Well, once they said there was going to be what is called a tune girl. which is kind of like a Vanna White of the show.
Right.
And I said, well, it would make a lot of sense if we were singing together.
Right.
And, we obviously kind of come together as a duo in the public eye.
Right.
And they thought that was a great idea.
Right.
And so then they were like, Chris, now that we think about it, we don't want you, we want her. And I had to resell myself on them. No, but we gosh, we have such chemistry for so many years together on stage. We just kind of, put that into their format,
right.
which is a game show format. But quite frankly, it's not that much different than what we do every Friday and Saturday night, where it's about the people who come to see us more than it is about our show.
How long
and
did
it's a show about people and their personalities. And incidentally, they play a game show and hopefully win $10,000 in cash.
That's right. So how long was rehearsal?
The first show.
Well, I know that's not true because you skipped one of our shows.
I know. No, we had about 4 days of rehearsal, 2 dress rehearsals, and it's something.
Were they 8-hour day rehearsals, like full day?
6-hour days.
Okay, right.
And there is a structure to it, and there's a lot of complicated rules that go
Right.
into it, and little technical things that Marley and I are having to push buttons and pull levers.
Reset.
Yes, and pop out of the stage like Michael Jackson.
I missed that part when you did that. What?
That's-
Now, there's some singing there that you guys do. You guys do a vintage tune.
We do a couple.
Yeah.
We open the show with kind of a Stephen Eady number.
Yeah.
We do some Frank Sinatra, some
Yeah.
Sammy Davis Jr., and there's some contemporary things, some Black Eyed Peas.
Was that part of the plan before you two got involved?
We got to choose the music, and then I worked the lyrics of an old Stephen Eady tune that we made into the actual theme of the show
Okay.
for Name That Tune. It's an old song, heard that song before by Stephen Eady. It's really hot with the kids these days.
Right, right.
And I reworked the lyrics, and it's become the theme to the show, and the producers and the owners of the brand liked it, and so we went with that.
So their plan was to have singing in the
Sure.
show, though.
And that's why they went with me.
'Cause I
and
literally
Marley.
thought when I watched it, I bet they did that just for you two.
It was really wonderful. To be honest, they had a couple other hosts lined up. One which was Mark McGrath.
Oh, no kidding.
Big time, big shot Hollywood
Really?
feller. Another guy was Joey Fatone, who was in Backstreet Boys.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And apparently they were too much money. I don't know. I don't know what the deal
God,
is.
jeez Louise.
But they wanted to go with some local flavor. And, Marley and I like to consider ourselves part of the fabric of this community.
Sure.
And we were honored to do it, and we're having a blast, and we're having a lot of fun with it. And the show's going great. A lot of people are coming in, and
Yeah.
I wish them a lot of luck with it. I hope it lasts for a long time.
I wish you would have let me win.
Well, I was going to rig the whole thing.
You promised that.
You and I could split the 10 grand,
You
but
told
that
me.
might look ugly.
You could rig it. And I'm like, yeah, I can't even hit the frickin' button. Go to our next question here from Pam. Wow, another woman. Fascinating. When you do a corporate gig, what do you look for? Or what shows do you do? Do you do the party show or do you do the vintage Vegas show?
It really works out in a nice kind of way when we go into a corporate atmosphere, in the sense that typically they're very conservative. And there could be anywhere from 300 to 3,000 partygoers that come in typically from all over the country or all over the world that are part of this company. Nobody knows each other. And so it's our job within a few minutes to kind of bring everybody together as a family, which is what the event planners and the presidents and such of the company are intending and wanting to do.
Right.
Is to create this unity. And I think with our kind of show, it definitely lends itself towards bringing strangers together as one. And so to set the tone for the evening and something that resembles sophistication and class, we start out by doing our 18-piece orchestra in a tux and gown, all the old vintage Vegas tunes from, Frank and Stephen Eady and Sammy Davis and all that kind of stuff. And then a half hour later, we come back out and hit them with this high-energy, hip-hop, very, very contemporary, high-energy top 40 show.
Right.
And it's a nice blend between the two. It kind of bridges the gap here in Las Vegas between what was and what is. And so we go from being a show to a party within a few minutes. So we typically do both. But it's generally the later stuff that most people inquire
Right.
about and hire us to do, just to be honest.
How many corporate gigs do you do, say, a month?
Well, to be honest, it used to be a lot more up until the economy went south.
Yeah.
A lot of the corporate entities then turned to other forms of less expensive entertainment.
Like DJs?
Yeah, DJs, of course. like so many things do. But now the pendulum is swinging back, and the calls are coming in again.
Really?
And so we had kind of a dry 2 years, just to be very blunt, up until about 6 months ago, and now we're doing them all the time. We just did one. We did one just 2 nights ago out on a golf course for about 1,000 people with a big internet company, well, I won't mention, that schedules your flights and hotels and such, one of the more, if not the more popular one.
Right.
And it was a very conservative party. Everybody was on their best behavior. And then we kicked in and we do our thing, and it creates some kind of drug of some sorts, which turns people into somebody very different. And by the end, we had one gentleman that decided to get completely naked and do the worm in front of the stage. If you
On grass?
On the grass.
Oh, that'd be itchy.
Whole new meaning to grass stains.
Oh, man. Could people see that? Or you could see it.
All of his coworkers and bosses saw that.
Really? How's
And
that?
so that's got to lend to an interesting dynamic on the Greyhound bus ride home to the hotel with everybody on there.
You know, we went and saw Huey Lewis and the News at a golf course gig about 2 weeks ago. And I thought, this has got to be one of the best gigs ever. I mean, it's a beautiful, he plays golf, by the way.
Oh, yes.
So it was a beautiful golf course. It's in Flagstaff.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, nice setup, beautiful place. There's about 1,000 people there or so. I just think that would be one of the greatest gigs ever. I mean, is it fun?
It's a great
That
way to
kind of
make a
gig?
living because, one, you get to meet so many great people from
Right.
all over the country. And what a lot of people wouldn't know is that at the corporate gigs, they usually go more crazy
Yeah.
than the public gigs in a nightclub.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a time for them to really let go, and they're not used to that environment. They really have a great time.
Right.
And for us, you know, we not only have a great time, but financially speaking, they're typically more satisfying financially than
Sure.
4 or 5 club gigs put
Really?
together.
So why don't you just decide? I mean, I did music for a while, and didn't do any club gigs. Did nothing but corporate gigs because
Yes.
the value was so different. I focused on corporate gigs and selling CDs,
Yes.
and didn't want to do a bar or a club at all. Why don't you just do that? I mean, financially, it'd be better.
Well, yes, and to be honest, there's something about the regularity of performing live in front of fans that can come and see you on a regular basis that would never get to see you if you just stayed in the corporate level.
Right, that's
And to us, you know, to be very blunt, it's not about the money for us. We have so much fun doing. I would pay to do what I do.
Right.
And you know, the only way to get your brand out there and any kind of notoriety in terms of, you know, who and what you're doing, you've got to play publicly, especially in a situation where they're going to market you.
Right.
So you really get your brand out. If you were just staying in the corporate level, I don't think I would enjoy that, to be honest, because I'm not doing it just to make money. I'm doing it because I really love to play to people who enjoy what we're doing. They can go back week after week
Right.
after week. And you need to budget yourself, you know, to some degree. And with these public
Right.
gigs that are, you know, we're very fortunate and lucky enough to have a regular type of situation for years and years and years and years.
Now, so you've just started a gig, or you've been doing a gig at M for a while. You did the pool gig for a while, right? And now you're moving into the Ravella Lounge. Is that right?
Yeah, we've branched out on the local market. We've been known for being primarily exclusive with station casinos
Right.
for the last 5 years,
Right.
primarily at a place called Red Rock,
Right.
where we perform every Friday to hundreds of locals that come in.
Hundreds, like 500.
Yeah, it's amazing. We're very fortunate.
Stunning.
But now we've moved across town to this other beautiful property.
Not moved. You're doing in addition to.
In addition to, that's
Yeah,
correct.
right.
On Saturday nights out at the M Resort, we had been doing, as you point out, these outdoor concerts, which were so much fun. But now we're moving indoors now that they are closing that down. And we're going to be inside every Saturday doing that from like 10 to 2.
And have you started that yet?
That starts October 1st.
Okay. So that's a very different room.
Yes.
So the room at Red Rock, this is fascinating to me. So the room at Red Rock is kind of the hip-hoppy, big, giant stage, 400 people, shoulder to shoulder, jumping up and down like whatever doesn't go round or whatever you young kids say. And then, but at the...
You're so hip, Scott.
well, you know, it's a gift. But I'm just gonna, that's nice looking, by the way. Okay, anyways. So, but now at the Ravella Lounge, that's what I consider one of the quintessential Vegas rooms. It's got the small floor, some pub seats, some booths, some more of those. I dig those rooms a lot.
I do too.
but it's a smaller dance
It is.
floor.
It's, the energy is going to be
Yeah.
almost too intense for the room.
Well, so I'm asking. That's the question. When you address that room, which is a very different room,
Yeah, it is.
do you change your show?
I typically, because we're going to be doing a bit longer time period in which we're going to be on stage, that means I'll probably have 2 or 3 more cocktails.
That's right. You're used to doing 2 hours.
Now we're going 3. That's another drink and a half or 2.
But so you're adding additional hour.
Uh-huh.
It's a smaller room,
Yeah.
which actually could mean that the energy could actually be higher.
True.
Because you pack that thing quickly, you'll have him climbing into the next level and dancing.
Sure. But I'll be honest. It's the production quality in there isn't as powerful as what
mean
we're
the
used
audio?
to. Yeah. And so we're going to have to see how that goes. Because
You don't know.
It's a little weaker than what
Have
we
you
used to.
have you played in that room before?
No.
I mean, so you haven't.
But I've seen other acts in there, and I'm just wondering how we're going to make that make sense for us, to be honest, because it's a little subdued compared to our energy that we bring to the table.
But are you gonna? I mean, are you gonna practice there before you play there?
What the? Practice?
No.
What is that?
I would think you might want to practice.
No.
All right. No. Well,
No.
we're going to talk more about practicing with Chris. Practicing how to drink. Practicing how to date women who are over 20. And other things that you might want to practice. But we're going to take another break. So far, Wayne has done a great job on breaks. Let's do one more.
No pressure. Hi, I'm Dennis Silvers from, can't think of the name of my damn show. Golf and other 4-letter words, and you're watching the Vegas Video Network, I think.
Oh no!
There's no eyes!
Oh no! Ira,
Who's running the network?
we've
Good
got,
God.
We've got an empty bucket.
Oh, was that pirate? That sounded English.
No, that was a failed attempt at Dudley Moore, to be honest.
We got. You know what I saw? Melissa and I watched Arthur, the new Arthur.
Oh,
It was good.
You liked it?
It was good.
Yeah, with Russell Brand.
It was good. I thought it was good. It was good. Look, wait a minute. Hold on. It was $1.99.
From a red box.
No, it was that we're doing Amazon streaming on Roku,
But
of which we are on. And I actually thought it was good. We thought it was good.
compared to the Dudley Moore,
Oh, well,
Liza
no.
Minnelli.
It's not the same.
Oh, it's not even the lead.
No, but it was good. It was
Yeah,
good.
no, it was funny.
It was funny. Okay.
It was mildly entertaining if you're limited.
So,
Kidding.
could you?
was awesome.
There's some ice over there.
It was
in
awesome.
the freezer. Could you just throw it at him? That's all I ask, really. Right in the head. Right in that hair. Let's see how fake that hair is.
So how is that Sally Jesse Raphael spiced rum or whatever you call it?
Well, why don't you taste some?
A Sally Jerry, what is it called?
It's
Sailor Jerry.
Sally Jerry Raphael. Oh, look, she's got big red glasses on. Just like Sally Jesse. That's nice. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, you just hand me that. We're not fooling anybody.
Oh, that's classy. Whose home freezer did that come from?
Well, that worked out a lot worse than I'd hoped. Why don't you sing a song?
How
Sing
about the
something.
Name That Tune theme?
Sing it. Go.
I forgot.
Come on.
It seems to me I've heard that tune before. It's from an old familiar score. I know it well, that melody. How's that?
That was pretty good. Anybody?
Name that tune. Name that tune.
See? I believe that was the first time you've sung on the show. And it
Well, I
will be
still
the
don't think
last.
I'd consider that to be singing, but
What's your favorite song to sing? Either jazzy kind of stuff or the hip hop. Let's do jazzy first.
I'm I'm a huge fan of the, as I like to call them, the vintage Vegas standards.
Some ice?
No, that just waters it down.
Attaboy.
It just gets in the way.
You're a big boy drinker.
I like, to me it's about the arrangements of the old standards that I like so much, not just the songs themselves, because you can take any standard, and if you arrange it properly,
Right.
then, any song, because these songs were all written by guys back in the 30s.
We're
40s.
godlike.
Yeah, and they are godlike. And Frank Sinatra was able to take some of these old tunes and he whipped them into shape by putting his arrangers like Nelson Riddle and these guys that would come in and spice them up. Right. I love when a very talented arranger will transform a song into something that's very exciting. That to me, that's always fun.
That's cool.
And so to me, it's about the arrangement, not just the song.
But you don't have a favorite song? Like Wave for me is a beautiful song.
I love Wave. No, that's a great song.
You hear and go,
that's a great example.
Crap. And I told you, you did a song.
Love that song.
That in your Vintage Vegas show, it's such a great bossa nova song.
You know what? I think you're probably talking about a song called "It Had Better Be Tonight." It had better be tonight, and it's an old song from a Pink Panther movie, but it's about the arrangement, and you turn into like this Latin-y kind of number.
Oh, there's one.
There's another song called More.
More is a classic.
And I took the arrangement that Wayne Newton used to do, which is kind of a spicy little Vegas showroom sounding thing.
We played that in junior high marching band.
Yeah,
More.
exactly.
Yeah. Love that song.
It could be so dull and so lifeless, or it could be so exciting and spicy, just depending on arrangement.
Live chat question from Jackie. Jackie wants to know, what modern singers does Chris think highly of? Other than me, of course.
God, I'm so out of it. I make my living singing the most current music on the radio.
Right.
I don't even know half the people that I do the music over.
That was a big bore pour right there. You sure you don't want some ice? 'Cause I'm afraid your heart's going to stop.
Well, I got to set the tone for the evening. It's Monday.
Good. So, no, come on. Let's
modern day singers.
I'll throw some out. You tell me what you think of it.
All right.
Michael Bublé.
Oh, I think he's awesome. Thank God for Michael Bublé. Aside from the fact, if you really listen, he has a lisp.
Does he?
He has a lisp. When he sings, he swings with a lisp.
He swings with a lisp.
He's awesome. I love Michael Bublé.
Why did he become famous as opposed to literally thousands of the cats who are doing the same stuff?
One,
thousands.
I think that I think David Foster had something to do with that by discovering him.
But why did he get discovered by Foster?
His voice is incredible. But he, just like this guy on American's Got Talent, that just won.
I don't watch that.
It's a cool guy.
But didn't you meet him?
African-American guy that came on and he sang the vintage Vegas standards. And I think it's the music, see? People, even the young people don't know, they don't want to admit, they love good music.
Sure.
And some of these old tunes that were made famous by these old crooners from Sinatra to Bobby Darin and Dean Martin, to some people, it might be old people music. No, man, that's good music. And if you put a hip modern person singing it, like a Michael Bublé or a Harry Connick Jr. or this fella on American's Got Talent, then it brings and breathes a whole new life to it. And I think the music is what people are really getting excited about. And so with Michael Bublé as an example, he's not just talented. I think it was the direction in terms of the music he sang. And now he's able to do anything because he's a big star and he can sing any kind of music.
Now, Charles Jackson says that Chris sounds great singing Crazy by CeeLo.
Well, that's
how do you feel about that?
Song.
that was in Name That Tune. That was one of your clues.
Yes.
This song has been done by Patsy Cline and CeeLo, and I didn't get that one right either. Great show. Hated that show. Couldn't win one.
Who was that said that?
Charles Jackson.
You know who that is?
No.
That's one of the original Jackson brothers who performs with us once in a while.
One of the original? You mean like
Tito and Michael and... He wasn't as commonly known. He was Charles Jackson.
Come on.
And he performs with us once.
Come on.
It's a true story.
Sometimes when you lie, you go to hell.
Oh, I was going there a long time ago.
Never mind.
I have nothing to lose. But as long as they have a VIP booth with bottle service.
It is, but it's all very hot and bubbly. They don't have a lot of ice. Even if you make fun of my ice cubes, at least it's cold. You're not going to get that in hell, just so you know. Tough guy.
It's okay.
All right. Alicia wants to know.
My girlfriend can't go there by herself.
She's 21, right? Please tell me she's 21. Oh, my God. I'm harboring a fugitive on the show. How lovely is that?
She was filling out her registration form to vote. Should I be concerned?
Oh, jeez. This is going so poorly. All right. What kind of... When going to prison, Would you like to be on the... Never mind, that could go bad. Alicia wants to know, what do you look for when approaching a gig? Pay, perks, or other things?
That's a great question, and I will answer this very seriously because, every several months or years, we have to reevaluate where we may want to take our show.
Right.
Specifically meaning, should we stay at this casino or go to another one, or this club or that club? And I think that one thing I have learned a long time ago, if nothing else, that made sense for us, maybe not for anybody else, and that is that when we approach a negotiation, I'm one of these guys that does it the old-fashioned. I don't have managers and agents. I do it myself.
Did you used to?
We did, yes, and that was fine. But I like to have people knowing what kind of a personality comes with the product, and typically it's not the personality of your manager.
Right.
If that's, I'll just put it that way. And so with me, when we sit down, it's interesting because they'll immediately start saying, okay, how many nights, how many hours can you perform? What kind of pay are you looking for? And I say, well, that's all nice, but let's talk about marketing. Let's talk about billboards. Let's talk about magazine ads.
You're going to ask that first.
Before pay, before anything. To me, it's about marketing.
But what about
branding your name?
So that's not for a corporate gig. That's for
yes, absolutely. Corporate's a whole different.
Right.
Corporate's money.
Right. But so okay. Well, so then when you had the conversation with M, and they said we want you to do the pool gig, and now we want to put you at the Ravello Lounge. You had that conversation with them.
Yes, and as an example, the new Zoe Bowie billboard goes up this week.
Actually, I've already seen it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I saw it.
Which is not something that's done a lot for cover bands and such. To us, we want to be able to be as effective as we possibly can for anybody that we work for. We like to bring in a lot of people. We like to bring them a lot of revenue.
Right.
And to do that, you need to get the word out.
Right.
And to do that in this town, you need to market yourself in some form or another.
Huh.
And so that's very important to us because, like with the M Resort, it's such a gorgeous property. We're so proud and honored to be playing there. But we hate to let them down.
Right.
And so we need to stress with them, help us help you.
Yeah. Get
the word out. Facebook is great and, social media is fine, but, when it comes down to it, you need to, in this town, you need to have billboards and magazine ads and things like that. And so,
right.
And that works great for us because it helps build our brand and create validity into what it is we're trying to do. And so for being just essentially, we're nothing more than a silly cover band, we've marketed ourselves as kind of a pseudo-headlining act simply because of the overwhelming amount of marketing and publicity we've had over the last several years in one way or another.
So let's say you're talking to any casino, doesn't matter which one, and they say, you know what, Chris, we've got X set aside to hire Zoe Bowie.
Right,
and
which always happens.
And they say, okay, and let's say X is, this much. This is X. And they say, okay, here's what we're going to pay you. We're going to give you this chunk of money. Here's X. And you say, first thing you say is, okay, how much money are you putting into marketing? Billboards, in
right.
Vegas today or whatever you think's important. And they say, wasn't really thinking that. We just want to give you this chunk of money to go perform for us. Do you say, okay, instead of X, take away this much and put this to advertising?
Well, I can tell you this, first and foremost, we get approached all the time by different entities that want us to perform. If it comes with no marketing, then we just say no.
Period. So if X is more than what you would normally ask for.
We'll take less money.
Yes, that's my point.
Yes, for a more aggressive marketing campaigning.
And
because that really pays off for us in the long run.
So
because there was a time in which I put forth my own money to market, which is exorbitant.
Well, I was going to say, so if you go to an M or you go to any strip casino or anywhere, and they say, okay, God, Chris, we want you so bad. We'll put an ad in City Life. Is that enough?
No.
What's your criteria for advertising? And this is a fascinating question because there are a lot of bands out here.
I know. That's why I'm trying to answer these seriously.
And I know that a friend of ours has asked you a great deal about this.
Conversation with him 3 days ago.
I know. So, there's a ton of musicians here in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be you could do a cover gig at Mandalay Bay and you could buy a house. Because it was a 7-day-a-week gig.
Now here's the problem.
That deal's done.
When the deal is done, and you're calling yourselves the
Whatever.
Crazies, whatever the name of
Right.
your band is.
Right.
At the end of that gig, no matter how much you got paid, you then have to go to another hotel or another club and say, I want to get hired. And they'll say one question, who are you?
Who are you? Right, because you don't spend a lot of time then on the press kits, on the DVD.
We've never had a
on
press kit. I've never had a press kit in 20 years.
Ever.
Nope.
Waste of money. In your
No,
opinion.
no, it actually would help me a lot. I'd be a rich
Do you think
man.
so?
Yeah. Oh God,
Why?
It's a huge mistake.
But you got billboards all over the frickin' place.
Yes, but I've never had a press kit. I don't even have a business card. I've never had a business card.
Right, I remember that when we first
I'm just a lazy guy. That's what it is. And so, there's different roads in which to take, and I don't advise the route in which I've taken it all, because you need to have a press kit. You need to have some slick things to give people. And I've never, like I said, I don't even have anything on YouTube. I have nothing.
So let me ask you this.
I have no product. I don't have a CD. I don't have a T-shirt.
Well, you do
I
have a
don't care about-
DVD. I've seen your DVD before. You have the Vintage
That's just a little
Vegas.
thing I made for a reality show.
Okay.
That was not intended for marketing or anything.
Oh, okay.
But in terms, there's so many acts that put out product. We'd be making a fortune if we had sold
T-shirts.
flasks and Zoe Boy
Merch.
condoms or whatever
Right.
the hell people say. I don't know.
Zoe Bowie condoms.
I,
That's great. You know what? You give me 5 minutes, I'll give you a tagline for
no,
that.
I think we are going to put out our first product though ever, and it's the Zoe Boy
Breathalyzer.
breathalyzers.
You know what? Somebody in the chat
I swear
said.
to God.
Somebody on the, and I
Something
swear
to be
to,
functional.
let me see who it was. Somebody on the chat said maybe you guys should have a breathalyzer for this show.
Yeah.
We could do that. We could just have it pop up, and if they don't pass, then they have to stay here overnight.
To me, I'll be honest though. The thing to me, it's not a business. We're not doing this for money or notoriety. We're doing it to make people feel good because it makes me feel good.
Wait a minute. If you didn't get paid,
Well, then I
life
wouldn't
would
be
be
able to do it.
bad.
No, and we've been very fortunate in that department, of course. But I think when you go into anything, if it's entertainment or business or a relationship, if you go in with good intention, rewards come.
Yep.
We didn't go into this for money. We went into this literally because we have a blast acting like a bunch of drunk juvenile delinquents
Yeah.
who want nothing more than to make people feel good.
So would you argue then that you set aside money so that wait. Well, what do you think I'm
Yes,
doing?
I'm very smart when it comes to my
No.
financial
I
portfolio.
don't mean set aside. No. Everybody laughed. It wasn't even the funny part of the question. No. Have you turned down money so you could get better advertising?
Oh,
in other words,
yes, of course.
Because this came up in the
All
chat
the
just
time.
now that
all the time.
Ted says Chris was smart that way. He basically invested in local fame. In other words,
Yeah.
and that's actually it's a very smart comment. You invested in being exposed
Yes.
here locally as opposed to being paid locally. You follow what
Well,
I'm saying?
I will say this though, and I'm not gonna lie about this. When we came to town, the first 3 years we were here, when the economy was
Well,
ripe,
you made a lot of money.
we did ridiculously well,
Right.
and we didn't even know it.
Right.
We were naive as to how much money we were making.
Right. You'd mentioned it before. It's a huge sum.
It was a huge sum, but then everything went
The hell.
kerplunk,
Right.
and entertainment budgets didn't just get slashed; they got erased
Right.
completely. Like no more entertainment in this hotel, no more entertainment in this room.
Right.
And so it became a little more difficult. Now, like I say, over the last several months, things have rebounded considerably.
Right.
And we're doing quite well again. Not to the point where it was 4 years ago. But what's so strange is we're not making as much money, but the notoriety and the public knowledge of who and what our brand is about is 10 times what it was. And so that to me is way more important.
Let's say I'm from.
It's not about the money.
Let's say I'm from Los
Hell, I
Angeles.
just spend it on booze and gambling anyway. What the hell?
Let's say I'm from Los Angeles, and I come up to you and go, "You, Chris Phillips, I like what you're doing. Let's get you out to L.A. Let's get you doing some music-y stuff. We'll put you on the TV. We'll put you on the radio. Would you do that? And I'm going to advertise the crap. I'm going to do $1 million of advertising on you. I'm going to put you on billboards. I'm going to put you all over the place.
I say this
Are you in?
with complete sincerity, and I've said it a million times in articles and everything else. I came to Vegas to be a Vegas entertainer. If that conversation alludes to me staying in Vegas and broadcasting it to the masses out of Vegas, absolutely. But if it means me having to leave Las Vegas, absolutely not.
There's no
I
way.
couldn't care less. I couldn't care less.
What would
I came here to be Wayne Newton and Don Rickles and Frank Sinatra and Elvis Presley and Steve Wynn and what Vegas is all. Siegfried Roy, man, I'll tell you that. I love Las Vegas. I want to stay in Las Vegas. I want to be a Vegas entertainer. I'm going to go down with the ship if I have to. I have no interest in being on MTV or the movies or anything else if it's not out of Las Vegas.
Speaking of marketing, which was a lovely segue, you are on Facebook, but you're not a hardcore Facebook guy.
No, I'm not a hardcore.
Molly's on
guy.
Facebook.
No.
She's a bit nicer. Do you?
I need to get in this Twitter thing. I've got thousands of people on my Twitter. I've never tweeted anything.
So,
what a letdown I am.
in your personal opinion, how much help has social media done for your career?
A lot. I'm not going to lie. Facebook's been very helpful.
How do you know?
I think in lieu of the success we've had based on getting information out only on social media through Facebook. If there's like an event we'll do, and the only way I broadcast that is through Facebook, and then seeing the numbers of people that respond in terms of the attendance, and there's no other way for them to know, then
Right.
that's got to tell me something.
Yeah.
And so I'm definitely a victim of being a Facebook junkie in terms of looking on it. I don't do much on it. I don't write anything on it.
Now, some Facebook folks will allow anybody to post on their page. You don't. You control your website so that, like, for instance, anybody can just say, "Hey, I really like your stuff."
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know that.
See, I thought that was a thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There we go.
You
And
mean
so,
you can't go to my Facebook and post something?
like, I can't, like, if I put up a new show, I can't put it on your webpage.
Why?
You won't let me. Me, your buddy Scott.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I
I've
wish-
done this
I
for a
wish I
couple
was
times.
that savvy to be able to tell you, oh, well, I've blocked. I don't even know how to block anything.
Well, you're blocking me. You are Facebook blocking me.
Am I really?
Yeah, no, I'm just making it up. Yes, you are.
How come I get ads on there advertising freaking shoes and shit?
Did you just say shh? Please mark that time because I have to edit that out. Thank you, Kras.
Oh, I forgot you're syndicated.
I thought it was a plan. I thought that was your thing. That you.
No, I'm not nearly that intelligent.
Okay.
God.
All right, let's ask our final question before I cry in my soup because he doesn't even know that he's blocking me. I'm trying to promote this guy, and he's like, oh, I didn't know that you can't get on my, I don't know, just put it on there.
God, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh. All right, last one. You look unbelievable. I didn't do that. I blocked you. Why would I block you?
I did not know
That
that.
seems like a bad thing to do.
I didn't set the whole thing up in the beginning anyway. I'm just lucky I can log on.
I
to
think
it.
the Facebook will take off. Okay.
Yeah, I heard it's popular.
I think it'll be okay. 750 million people.
Yeah.
I think it's got legs. You really look good. Oh, I'm sorry. You really look good. Really?
Yeah,
Have
especially
you heard
today.
enough of that? Jeez
This
Louise.
is not today.
Tired of hearing that. You really look like, and I have got to stop showing up looking like a schlub next to pretty boy Floyd over here. You really look like you were enjoying yourself playing the drums Friday night. Oh, so somebody were watching you Friday night. Will you sit in with any other friends playing drums?
Yeah, you know, I never played. I used to be a drummer
I know.
for about 15 years.
Beautiful long blonde hair.
Yeah, but I could sit on my hair. I look like Claudia Schiffer. That's another story.
Well, let me just say, parts of you.
Anywho, my friend Frankie Moreno came and sat in with us, and so I just, in my intoxicated state, went back and played some drums for once, and so that was. I haven't done that in years.
You're a good drummer.
Well,
You are. Do something.
that's very kind
Play a
of you.
little. Play a little. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's what we're going to do.
So yeah, no, I would love to play drums again. Actually, that'd
Really?
be fun, but I just never do it.
Would you ever be in a band where you
As
just
long as
play
I don't
drums?
have to take them down. See,
Yeah, that's why
I'm so
I don't
lazy.
like-
It's just setting
it
up, taking them
sucks.
down. So I thought, that singing thing, there's something to that.
Flute.
You've got a microphone.
Or flute.
A flute. A
Flute's-
flautist.
a
is what I
flautist.
want to be.
Right. Oh, again, you're English. Because if that's your pirate, you're screwed.
No, I just want to. I just want to lead a
Arr.
little parade in the Revolutionary War.
You're holding it right.
Huh?
Most people don't do that right.
Was I doing it right?
Yeah. Marching band.
Professional football quarterback or a flautist?
Lotus. Okay, now here's a good part of the show. We're being signaled that we've had enough. And we have.
Yeah.
We're going to go to camera 2 now, and Chris is going to say bye. Ready? Go.
Well, my friends, once again, you have witnessed a very exciting episode of Talktails here on the Vegas Video Network. My name is Chris Phillips. Hopefully, you're going to turn in next week, and we'll have a guest.
No.
And they won't be stuck in traffic. So, my friends, we'd love to have you join us every single Monday at 5 o'clock. Once again, you can contact us or email us anytime by simply going to Talktails at vegasvideonetwork.com. And I hope we get to see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Again, our guest, our producer friend,
Camera 1.
Scott Whitney, everybody.
It's as if I've been here the whole time. Good. Are you done?
No, I'm just beginning.
All right. Well,
I have yet begun to fight.
let's go ahead and roll credits.